There we go. Oh, welcome back. Oh man, this time I'm not forgetting because that was a long reading yesterday, and I wasn't actually able to process most of it because I was trying to get it all out pretty quickly. But right now, right now, 3 o'clock. Might as well do it now, bright and early. And like always, like, share, and subscribe. And we're going back into Exodus, which that the last chapters. Oh man, from pretty much Pharaoh and the plagues. Now we're actually getting into the part where it took them 30 years, I want to say, through the desert. Because, well, I was kind of spoiled a bit into this, but because of the Israelites complaining every week of the day, thinking that the Lord had abandoned them just because they ran out of food, water, or anything else in between. But I already know what happens in the next part, but let's just get this started with Exodus 16. Then the whole community of Israel set out from Elam and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin, between Elam and Mount Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month, so February 15th, 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. There, too, the whole community of Israel complained about Moses and Aaron. Uh, contemplate, I read that wrong. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now he have brought us into the wilderness to starve us all to death. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day the people can go each day the people can go out and pick as much food as they need for that day. I will test them in I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instructions." On the sixth day, they all gathered food, and when they prepared it, they were they will be twice as much as usual. So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, by by evening you will realize that the Lord has brought you out of the land of Egypt. In the morning you will see the glory of God, because he has heard your complaints, which are against him, not against us. What have what have we done that you should complain about us? Then Moses added, "The Lord will give us give you meat to eat in the evening and bread to satisfy you in the morning, for he has heard all your complaints against him. What have we done? Yes, your complaints against the Lord, not against us." Then Moses and Aaron said to Aaron, "Announce this to the entire community of Israel. Pre- Present them yourselves before the Lord, for he has heard all your has heard your complaining." And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out towards the wilderness. They could see the amazing glory of the Lord God in the clouds. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat, and in the morning you will have all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God." That evening, vast numbers of quail flew in and covered the camp. And the next morning, around the area around the camp was wet with dew. When the dew evaporated, a flaky substance as fine as on the ground, frosted blanket the ground. The Israelites were puzzled with what they saw. "What is it?" they asked each other. They had no idea what it was. And Moses told them it was the food the Lord has given you to eat. These are the Lord's instructions. Each household should gather as much it needs. Pick up 2 quarts for each person in the tent. So the people of Israel did as they were told. Some gather a lot, some gather only a little. But when they measured it out, everyone had just enough. Those who gather a lot had nothing left over, and those who gather only a little had enough. Each family had just what it needed. Then Moses told them, "Do not keep any of it until morning." But some of them didn't listen and kept some until morning. But by them by them it was full of maggots and had terrible smell. Moses was very angry with them. After this people After the people gathered the food morning by morning, each family according to its needs, and as the sun became hot and the flakes had not picked up, melted and disappeared. On the 6th day they gathered twice as much as usual, 4 quarts for each person instead of two. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moses for an explanation. He told them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a holy Sabbath day set apart for the Lord. So bake or boil as much as you want today and set aside what is left for tomorrow." So they put some aside till morning, just as Moses had commanded. And in the morning, the leftover food was wholesome and good, without maggots or odor. Order. Moses said, "Eat this food today, for today is the Sabbath day dedicated to the Lord. There will be no food on the ground today." Ooh, excuse me. "You may gather the food for 6 days, but the seventh day is the Sabbath. There will be no food on the ground that day." Some of the people went out away on the seventh day, but they found no food. The Lord asked Moses, "How long will these people refuse to obey my commands and instructions? They must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you. That is why he gives you a 2 day supply on the 6th day, so there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out and pick up food on the seventh day." So the people so the people did not gather any food on the seventh. The Israelites called the food manna. It was white. It was white like curled container seed. It and it tasted like honey waffles. Waffles? Then then Moses said, "This is what the Lord had commanded. Fill a 2 quart container with manna to preserve it for your descendants. Then later generations will be able to see the food, and I gave you in the wilderness when I set you free from Egypt." Moses said to Aaron, "Get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna. Then put it in a sacred place before the Lord to preserve it for all future generations." Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant in front of the stone tablet inscribed with the terms of the covenant. So the people of Israel ate manna for 40 years till they arrived to the land where they would settle. They ate manna till they came to the border of the land of Canaan. The container used the container used to measure the manna was an omar, which it was 1/10 of a ikwa. It had 2 quarts. It was about 2 quarts. 40 years. I thought it was 30. Hey. At the Lord's command, the whole community of Israel left the wilderness of sin and moved from the place to place. Eventually, they camped Rephidim, but there was no water there for the people to drink. So once more the people complained against Moses. Give us water to drink, they demanded. Quiet, Moses replied. Why are you complaining against me? And why are you testing the Lord? But torment, but torment by thirst, they continued to argue with Moses. Why did you bring us out of Egypt? Are you trying to kill us, our children, our livestock with thirst? Then Moses cried out to the Lord, what should I do with these people? They are already they are ready to stone me. The Lord said to Moses, walk out in front of the people, take your staff and one of the one you used to struck the water of the Nile, and call some of the elders to of Israel to join you. I will stand before you on the rock at Mount Sinai. Strike the rock, and the water will come gushing out. Then the people will be able to drink. So Moses struck the rock as he was told, and the water gushed out as the elders looked on. Moses named this place Mesha, which means test, and Mirba, which means argument, because of the people of Israel argued with Moses and tested the Lord by saying, Is the Lord here is the Lord here with us or not? While the people of Israel were still at Rephidim, the warriors of Akele attacked them. Moses commanded Joshua, choose some men out to go and fight the army of Achem for us. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill, holding the staff of God in my hand. So Joshua did what Moses had commanded and fought the army of Achem. Meanwhile, Moses and Aaron and Hur climbed on top of the hill. As long as Moses held his staff in his hand, the Israelites had an advantage. But whenever he dropped his hand, the Ammonites gained the advantage. Moses' arms soon became tired as he could no longer hold them up. So Aaron and Hur found a stone for him to sit on. Then they stood in each other's side of Moses, holding up his hands. So his hands were held steady till sunset. As a result, Joshua overwhelmed the army of Achem in battle. After the victory, the Lord instructed Moses, write down on a scroll as a permanent reminder and read it out loud to Joshua. I will erase the memory of Achem from under heaven. Moses built an altar there and named it Yahweh Nisha, which means the Lord is my banner. He said, they have risen their their fists against the Lord's throne, so now the Lord will be at war with Achan, generation after generation. Moses' father-in-law Jero, the priest of Medima, heard about heard everything about God had done for Moses and his people, the Israelites. He heard especially how the Lord had rescued them from Egypt. Earlier, had sent his wife Zipporah and his two sons back to Jericho, who had taken them in. Moses' first son was named Garshom, for Moses had said when the boy was born he had been a foreigner in a foreigner land. Excuse me. His second son was named Israel. Israel, for Moses had said, the God the God of my ancestor was a helper, and he rescued me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jero, Moses' father-in-law, now came to visit Moses in the wilderness. He brought Moses' wife and two sons with him, and they arrived while Moses and the people were camped near the mountain of God. Jero had sent a message to Moses saying, I, Jero, your father-in-law, am coming here to see you with with your wife and your two sons. So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. He bowed and kissed him. They asked about each other's welfare and then went into Moses' tent. Moses told his father in law everything the Lord has done to Pharaoh and Egypt on the behalf of Israel. So he also told about all the hardships they had experienced along the way. How the Lord had rescued the people from all their troubles. Pharaoh was delighted when he heard about the good things the Lord had done for Israel as he rescued them from the hands of the Egyptians. Praise the Lord, Pharaoh said, for he had rescued them from the Egyptians and Pharaoh. Yes, he had rescued Israel from the powerful hand of Egypt. I know now that the Lord is greater than all other gods, because he rescued his people from the oppression of the proud Egyptians. Then Pharaoh, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifice to God. Aaron and all the elders of Israel came out to join him in a sacrificial meal in God's presence. The next day, Moses took a seat to hear the people's disputes against each other. They waited before him from morning till evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he asked, "What are you really accomplishing here? Why are you really trying to do all this along while everyone stands around you from morning till evening?" Moses replied, "Because the people come to me to get a ruling from God. When the disputes arise, they come to me, and I am the only one who settles the case between the quarreling parties, and I inform the people of God's decrees and give them instructions." "This is not good," Moses' father-in-law exclaimed. "You are going to wear yourself out and the people too. This job is too heavy a heavy a burden for you to handle all by yourself. Now listen to me, and I let me give you a word of advice, and may God be with you. You should continue to be the people's representative before God, bringing their disputes to Him. Teach them God's decrees and give them His instructions. Show them how to conduct their lives, but the people from select all the people, some capable, honest men who fear God and hate bribes. Appoint them as leaders over the groups of 1,000, 150, and 10. 150. That's a lot of people. They should always be available to solve the people's common disputes, but have them bring a major cases to you. Let the leaders decide the smaller matters themselves. They will help you carry the load, making it easier for you. If you follow this advice, and if God commands you to do so, this is then you will be able to endure the pressures, and all these people will go home in peace. Moses listened to his father-in-law's advice and followed his suggestions. He chased capable he chose capable men for all over Israel and appointed them as leaders over the people. He put them in charge of groups of 1,000, 150, and 10. These men are always available to solve the people's common disputes. They brought major cases to Moses, but took care of the smaller matters themselves. Soon after this, Moses said goodbye to his father-in-law, who returned to his own land. Exactly 2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they arrived in the wilderness at Mount of Sinai. After breaking camp, after breaking camp at Radium, they came to the wilderness of Sinai, and they set up camp there at the base of the mountain. Then Moses climbed the mountain, appeared before God. The Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "Give these instructions to the family of Jacob. Announce it to the descendants of Israel. If you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, you will know how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be you will be my special treasure, my own special treasure from among all the people of earth. For all the earth belongs to me, and you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel." So Moses returned to the mountain and called together the elders of the people and told them everything the Lord had commanded him. And all the people responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." So Moses brought the people's answer back to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, I will come to you in a thick cloud, Moses, so the people themselves can hear me when I speak to you. Then they will always trust you. Moses told the Lord what about the people had said. Then Mo- then the Lord told Moses, "Go down and prepare the people for my arrival. Construct them today and tomorrow, and have them wash their clothes. Be sure to be sure to, they are ready on the third day. For on that day the Lord will come down to Mount Sinai." As all the people watch, mark off a boundary all around the mountain, warning the people, "Be careful. Do not go up the mountain or even touch its barrier. Anyone who touches the mountain will certainly be put to death. No hand may touch the person or animal that crosses the barrier. Instead, stone them and shoot them with arrows. They may be put to death. However, when the ram's horn sounds a long blast, then the people may go up on the mountain." So Moses went down to the people as he constructed them for worship and washed their clothes. He said, "Get ready on for the third day until abstain from having sexual intercourse." On the mountain on the third day, thunder roared and lightning flashed, and a dense cloud came down on the mountain. There, a, there was a loud blast from the ram's horn, and all the people were trembled. Moses led them out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. All of Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because of the Lord had descended on the ford of fire. They had formed a fire. The smoke bellowed into the sky like smoke from a brick kindle, and the whole mountain shook violently. As the blast of the ram's horn grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. The Lord came down on top of Mount Sinai, and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses climbed the mountain. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go back down and warn the people not to break through the boundaries to see the Lord, or they will die. Even the priests who regularly come near to the Lord must purify themselves so that the Lord does not break out and destroy them." "But Lord," Moses protested, "the people cannot come to Mount Sinai. You already warned us. He told me, mark off a barrier all around the mountain and set it apart as a holy. But the Lord said, go down and bring Aaron back up with you. In the meantime, do not let the priests or the people break through to approach the Lord, or he will break and destroy them. So Moses went down to the people and told them what God had said. Huh. Might as well read one more chapter. Doesn't hurt. I was thinking of cutting it right there, but might as well read one more chapter because I want to see what happens next. Then God gave the people all these instructions. I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not be you must not make for yourselves an idol of any kind or an image of any in heaven or on the earth or in the sea. You must you must not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will be who will not tolerate your affection to any other God. I will lay the sins of your parents upon the children. The entire family is affected, even the children in the third or fourth generation of those who reject me. But I lavish unfaithful love for all the thousand generations on those who love me and obey my commands. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name. Remember to observe the Sabbath. Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You must have 6 days each week for ordinary work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that on that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, or any foreigner living among you. For in the 6 days of the Lord made the earth, the sea, and everything in them. But on the seventh he had rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long and full life in the land of the Lord your God is giving you. You must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. You must not covenant your neighbor's house. You must not covenant your neighbor's wife, male, female servant, ox, or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. When the people heard the thunder and loud blast of the ram's horn, and when they saw the flashes of lightning and the smoke bellowing from the mountain, they stood at a distance, trembling with fear. And they said to Moses, you speak to us, and we will listen. But don't let God speak directly to us, or we will die. Do not be afraid, Moses answered them, for God has come in this way to test you, and so not that not your fear with of him will keep you from sinning. As the people stood in the distance, Moses approached the dark cloud where God was, and the Lord said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel, you saw for yourselves that he had spoken to you from heaven. Remember, you must not make any idols of silver or gold to rival me. Build me an build me an altar made of earth and offer sacrifices to me, your burnt offerings and peace offerings, your sheep and goats and your calf. Built my altar I call, I cast, I cause my name to be remembered, and I will come to you and bless you. If you use stones to build my altar, use only uncut stones. Do not shape the stones with tools, for that's what will make the altar unfit for the holy use. And do not approach my altar by going up steps. If you do, someone might look up under the cloth of your clothing and see your nakedness. Huh, that's oh man. I think if I remember correctly, after this passage, I think God actually makes the tablets after this because right now what's going on right here is literally God's on top of the mountain, literally shouting at people all the commandments. But I think the people in the next chapter, actually after God gives all this speech, the people literally go after. It's like, oh, he's gone. Huh? Time to party. I remember this because I used to watch this YouTuber. What was his name? Jake from Mythology. I think that was the YouTube channel. He basically reads mythology stories and kind of puts like a little twist in it. He does read the Bible too, and he does put some like jokes here and there. At times, some of the jokes were funny, and then other time it's like a little bad taste in my mouth. But I I remember this part in the YouTube video where God is literally on top of the mountain, actually screaming at the people, and after that, the people just simply stopped and ignored him. And that was true. And which verse was it? Even though the people, right here on verse 20 on chapter 20, verse 20, do not be afraid, for Moses answered them, for God has come in this way to test you, so that your fear of him will keep you from sinning. Yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people in the church nowadays kind of miss. It's kind of the fear of God. And that's actually something that I've been seeing nowadays more and more because nowadays we kind of just see God as like, oh, some big old friendly grandpa up there doing nothing. But in reality, a lot of us should be fearing him right now. Because at any given point, right here, right now, at any given point, God could literally just say, okay, I'm done with humanity. I thought I was going to do this whole big epic thing with Revelation and all that. Nah, I think I might just skip it and start a brand new. And could literally just wipe us out of existence. Just like that. But later on, you can kind of see later on that, not later on, but uh, a little more back then, was that the Lord still loves us regardless of what we do. But again, we still have to keep that fear in mind that at any given minute, I literally could just write down right there, just die right here, right now, in the middle of a recording, because that's how God sees. That's when God pretty much says that I am done. Now it's funny because people constantly say that like God takes lives for no reason. He doesn't just do it for no reason. He has reasons to do it. So like at any given point, I could literally die right now in my sleep tonight. I could die somewhere in a car crash. I could die literally anywhere at any given point. And there's literally nothing that could stop it because when God says, okay, you're done, either I did his work or I didn't do his work or something like that. But it's something that we kind of need to start bringing back into the church is the fear of God. Yeah, we should fear him, but we shouldn't fear him to the point where we're scared out of our minds that we're doing everything wrong. No, we should just fear him as the point as like an angry dad. An angry dad. That's kind of how I could describe that. I mean, I don't know what else you could describe when God gets angry at you. Why am I so burpy? I literally, sorry, I'm burping all over the place. That's why you see me have like long pauses. Seriously, I don't know why. Forgive me for that. Uh, I ate like 12, almost, I don't know, 6 hours ago. Yeah, almost seven. But I'm still burpy. But regardless, yeah, we should still fear God, kind of like a father. We do something bad, we stop we stop doing that, and I mean, it's kind of like when you're a kid. Like, oh, you see a fire, you're a little child, you run to the fire, you try grabbing it. Your dad comes behind you, smacks your hand, telling you don't do that, and tells you to move along. Yeah, that's something that God could pretty much. That's something that I could describe God as much as I can, as sort of a fear of Him, like a fear of a father figure. That's kind of how I would describe Him. I wouldn't describe Him in any other way. I mean, there is other ways you can describe Him, but that's kind of how I kind of like say the fear of God is something that we need to put back. Because I mean, nowadays many of us literally just many of us literally just say things that we don't even notice that we're literally just taking God's name in vain. I mean, for me, yeah, I still do sin. Sometimes I get comfortable, sometimes I don't. Like, I'm constantly in this conflict of fighting between me and myself over and over. This constant fluxing between me and whatever's inside of me. It's like this constant flux. I don't know where I was going with that. I I'm having deja vu right now. But other than that, yeah, there really isn't much. I mean, it seems like everything's straightforward to what's going on in the story. There's not really much to say other than God's character in here. He's still big ol' friendly to his people, but even then, the people still fear him. Like I said, fearing God is something that we should do. Yeah, yeah, because like I said, any point we all could just cease to exist. The rapture happens, and about that rapture thing about the 23rd. Yeah, so many people were so focused on it that many of us forgot that, hey, we should be spreading the message, not scaring the hell out of people in freaking TikTok. I mean, there were so many people online right now on TikTok just constantly scaring them, saying like, "Oh, the 23rd's coming up of September, and you are not saved. Oh well, I guess you'll be here suffering with all the other sinners." It's like, don't. That's not a good thing to be saying. Because now you're making people scared that God's literally going to just shun them out for good. Like, okay, you didn't want to do nothing? Oh, well, I guess you're shunned out from heaven for good. Other than that, I think that's a good, I think that's a good place to leave it for right now. Because I think I read more than usual today. But I wanted to see what was, because right now I still want to read a little more what's going to happen in the next chapter. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow.